Before you argue about India, read the Constitution. I've started a Constitution series, step by step, article by article. The Constitution drafted under the leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Not for politics, but for people. This is not about religion, not about party, not about emotion. This is about law. This is about truth. Many people talk about culture. Many people shout about pride, but very few understand what the Constitution actually says. And that's why manipulation is easy. When you don't know the law, someone else controls the narrative. In this series, I will break down the articles, what they mean, what they protect, and how today's reality matches or doesn't match those values. Some truths will hurt, some beliefs will shake. If reality makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. Follow me or unfollow me, that's your before religion, before caste, before language. We are Indians. Article number 1, the foundation of India. The Constitution begins with a simple but powerful line. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. This is not just a sentence, this is identity. India, also called Bharat, 2 names, 1 nation. And notice the words, union of states, not a loose alliance, not independent regions, a union, permanent, strong, indivisible. This means no state is separate from the nation. No region is bigger than India. Before language, before religion, before culture, we are one union. But today, we fight over North versus South, language versus language, state pride over national unity. Article 1 says we are united. Reality sometimes says we are divided. That's why episode number 2, article number 2 and 3, how states are created. States are not permanent. The nation is. Many people think states are fixed forever. But the Constitution says something different. Article 2 says, Parliament has the power to admit or establish new states into the Union of India. That means India can grow. If a new territory joins in the future, the power lies with Parliament, not with emotions, not with protests, with law. Article 3 goes even deeper. Parliament can create new states, divide states, and merge states, change boundaries, even change the name of a state. Reality example, Telangana was created through this constitutional process. It wasn't random, it wasn't emotional, it was legal. Truths between Article 2 and 3 show something powerful. States can change. Why did the Epstein Files conversation disappear the moment war headlines appeared? Today's video is different. The Constitution series will continue, but first look at what's happening in the world. Everyone is talking about war between Iran, Israel, and the United States. But what conversation disappeared at the same time? Missiles, military strategies, war headlines everywhere. But at the same time, another story was growing. Discussions about documents connected to Epstein files. Those files raise serious questions about powerful people in their past, connections, and suddenly the global conversation shifts. Now the spotlight is on war. Some critics say that when major conflicts start, public attention moves away from scandals and investigations. Political pressure decreases.
Media focus changes. The headlines become war.
Former US President.
Parliament can redraw India's map without using Article 368. I'll explain Article 4, fast and simple. Article 4 is short, but it does 2 key jobs. First, it says laws that create or change states must update the 1st and 4th schedules. The 1st schedule lists states and territories. The 4th schedule assigns Rajya Sabha seats to those states. Second, it allows all the incidental and consequential details to be put into the law. Here's a sharp example. Think Telangana in 2014. Article 4 meant that the Telangana law was treated as an ordinary law, not an Article 368 amendment. So changes to state borders stay flexible but remain firmly inside the Constitution. If you want more quick explains of Indian constitutional articles, follow for more. Share if this cleared things up.
You don't decide who is Indian. Article 5 does. Episode number 3. Article number 5, citizenship at the commencement. Before you question someone's nationality, understand Article 5. To understand the Constitution of India, you must understand one important thing first. Who is an Indian? Article 5 answered this question on 26th of January 1950. It clearly defined citizenship at the beginning of the Constitution. A person was considered an Indian citizen if they were born in India, or their parents were born in India, or they had been living in India for at least 5 years before 1950. Notice something powerful. Citizenship was not decided by religion, not by caste, not by language, not by political belief. The Constitution made it clear every citizen is equal, no special category, no emotional division, just legal identity. In 1947, one country became two separate nations, India and Pakistan. Episode number 5, Article 6 and 7, Citizenship during partition. One border, two directions, two different legal consequences. 1947, India was divided into India and Pakistan. Millions of people crossed the border. Some came to India, some went to Pakistan. Now understand this carefully. The Constitution did not treat both situations the same. Article 6 came to India. If a person migrated from Pakistan to India, they could become an Indian citizen, but with conditions. If they came before 19th of July 1948, eligible. If they came after that, registration required, meaning India allowed citizenship, but through legal process. Article 7 went to Pakistan. If a person migrated, just because you live outside India doesn't mean you are a foreigner. The Constitution says that. Episode number 6, Article number 8, Citizenship of Indians living abroad. Living outside India doesn't erase your Indian identity, but the Constitution still requires proof. When India became independent, not every Indian was living inside the country. Many people of Indian origin were living abroad, in Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia, and many other places. Now the real question was, if they were not living in India, could they still become Indian citizens? This is where Article 8 comes in. Article 8 says, if a person is of Indian origin and living in another country, they can become an Indian citizen. But it's not automatic. They must register themselves at an Indian embassy or consulate in that country, and they must prove that they, their parents, or their grandparents were born. The Constitution respects freedom, but it requires a clear choice. Episode number 7, Article number 9, Foreign Citizenship. You can live anywhere in the world, but the Constitution makes one thing clear. You cannot belong to two countries at the same time. Today, many Indians live abroad. They study overseas, work there, build businesses, and sometimes settle permanently. But there's an important constitutional rule most people don't think about. Article 9 says, if a person voluntarily takes citizenship of another country, they cannot remain an Indian citizen. In simple terms, India does not allow dual citizenship. You can work abroad, you can live abroad, you can even stay there for many years. But the moment you officially accept another country's citizenship, your Indian citizenship ends under the Constitution. The reality behind Article 9, citizenship is not just identity. It's a legal status controlled by the Constitution. Articles 10 and 11, citizenship and the power of law. Citizenship is not just an identity card. It is a legal status defined and controlled by the Constitution. Articles 5 to 9 answered that. Today in the Constitution series, we look at Article 10 and 11 of the Constitution of India. First, Article 10. This article says that if someone is recognized as a citizen under the Constitution, their citizenship continues. It does not disappear randomly, and it cannot be taken away without legal authority. But the Constitution also created a system to regulate citizenship. That is where Article 11 comes in. Article 11 gives Parliament the power to make laws about citizenship, how someone becomes a citizen, how someone can lose citizenship, and how the rules can change as the government has power, but the Constitution sets the limits. Articles 12 and 13. Who must follow fundamental rights? Fundamental rights look powerful on paper, but who is actually bound to follow them? To understand this, we need Article 12 and Article 13 of the Constitution of India. First, Article 12. Article 12 explains the meaning of the word state. In simple terms, the state is not just the central government. It includes state governments, parliament and state legislatures, the central government, local authorities like municipalities and panchayats, any authority that exercises government power. So when the Constitution talks about fundamental rights, it mainly means these authorities cannot violate your rights. Now comes Article 13. Article 13 makes a powerful rule. It says that any law that...
सोचो, अगर कल गवर्नमेंट एक ऐसा लॉ बना दे जो तुम्हारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स छीन ले, क्या तुम कुछ कर पाओगे? रुको, आंसर है, और वो छुपा है आर्टिकल 13 में। देखो, फंडामेंटल राइट्स के बारे में सब जानते हैं, लेकिन उन्हें प्रोटेक्ट कौन करता है? सिंपल, आर्टिकल 13। ये तुम्हारे राइट्स का रियल शील्ड है। अब सिंपल लैंग्वेज में समझो, आर्टिकल 13 क्या बोलता है? सरकार कोई भी ऐसा लॉ नहीं बना सकती जो तुम्हारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स को छीन ले या उन्हें कम करे। और अगर गलती से ऐसा लॉ बन भी गया ना, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली इनवैलिड हो जाएगा। अब इसको थोड़ा ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं। सबसे पहले आर्टिकल 13 क्लॉज 1 ये बात करता है प्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉज की, मतलब जो लॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से पहले बने थे। अगर उनमें से कोई लॉ फंडामेंटल राइट्स के अगेंस्ट है, तो वो उस एक्सटेंट तक वॉइड हो जाता है। अब आते हैं आर्टिकल 13 क्लॉज 2 पर। ये पोस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉज के बारे में।
In the Constitution, no one is rich or poor. Everyone is equal. So why does society still divide people? Article number 14, equality before law. In the Constitution of India, every person is treated equally. No rich, no poor, no high, no low. But look at reality. People are still divided by religion, caste, color, status, SC, ST, upper and lower categories. Some people still face discrimination. Some still struggle for equal treatment. So the question is, if the Constitution gives equality, why does inequality still exist? Because the Constitution gives the rule, but society doesn't always follow it. That's why Article 14 is so important. It clearly says every person is equal before the law, and the law must treat everyone equally. No special privilege, no unfair discrimination. But there is one important. Your sex, caste, religion, or where you're born should never define your rights. Article number 15, prohibition of discrimination. Your gender, caste, religion, or birthplace should never decide your rights. In the Constitution of India, every citizen is given equal respect and protection. But reality has been different. People have been judged and treated unfairly because of caste, religion, gender, birthplace, social category.
Some were denied opportunities.
Some were excluded. Some were treated as less than equal. That is why Article 15 exists. It clearly says the state cannot discriminate against any citizen on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. No unfair treatment, no bias, no discrimination. But there is a deeper reality. Equality is not just about stopping discrimination. It is also about correcting it. That's why. Don't judge by caste or background. Judge by character and capability. Article number 16, equality in public employment. Your job should be decided by your talent, not your caste, religion, or where you come from. In the Constitution of India, every citizen is given equal opportunity in government jobs. But look at reality. People are still judged by caste, religion, state, background, even their appearance. Some are rejected before they even get a chance. Some are seen as less capable just because of their identity. But the truth is simple. Talent has no caste. Skill has no religion. Ability has no state. That's why Article 16 exists. It clearly says every citizen must get equal opportunity in public employment. No discrimination, no unfair treatment, no judgment based on identity. But there is a deeper reality. Not everyone. Untouchability against Dalits and poor people was not just discrimination. It was a failure of humanity. Article number 17, abolition of untouchability. No human is untouchable, but society once made people believe they were. In the Constitution of India, every person is equal. But in reality, people were divided in the most inhuman way. Some were called low, some were treated as impure, some were not allowed to enter temples, not allowed to drink from the same water, not even treated as equal human beings. All because of caste. This was not just discrimination. This was a denial of basic human dignity. That is why Article 17 was created. It clearly says, untouchability is abolished, and its practice in any form is strictly prohibited. No exceptions, no justification, no acceptance. If anyone practices untouchability, it is a punishable offense under. Real respect comes from character, not from Sir, Raja, or titles claimed by fake Babas. Article number 18, abolition of titles. In India, no one is born special. No Raja, no Sir, no Lord, only equal citizens. In the Constitution of India, equality is not just a word, it is a system. But before independence, society was divided by titles. Raja, Maharaja, Nawab, Sir. These titles created power, superiority, and inequality. Some people were seen as above. Others were treated as below. That is why Article 18 was created. It clearly says the state cannot give any titles, except military and academic honors. No fake superiority, no artificial status. It also says no Indian citizen can accept titles from foreign countries. No government official. The Constitution gave you rights to live freely, not to make others live in fear. Article number 19, right to freedom. The Constitution gave you a voice, not a weapon. You say, it's my freedom, my life, my choice. But do you really know what freedom means? In the Constitution of India, Article 19 gives every citizen 6 important freedoms. To speak, to express, to travel anywhere in India, to live in any state, to protest peacefully, to choose any job or business. This means no one can stop you from living your life the way you want. But here is the reality. Today, many people use the word freedom to justify anything. Spreading hate, abusing others, threatening people, creating violence. And then they say, it's my freedom. No, that is not freedom. That is misuse. Because Article 19 also says, your freedom ends where another person. No police, no government, no system is bigger than your constitutional rights. Article number 20, protection against unfair punishment. The system can arrest you, accuse you, even ruin your image. But the Constitution says it still cannot take away your basic rights. In reality, when someone is called criminal, society already decides they are guilty. People judge, media shouts, the system pressures. But Article 20 of the Constitution of India exists for one reason: to stop power from becoming abuse. Because without this article, the government could make a new law today and punish you for something you did years ago. Without this article, the police or system could keep punishing you again and again for the same crime. Without this article, they could force you to confess, even if you are innocent. That is the harsh reality. Sometimes the system wants a confession more than the truth. You are not born only to survive. You are born to live like a human being. Article number 21, right to life and personal liberty. The Constitution says your life is not a gift from the government, it is your right. Article 21 of the Constitution of India is one of the most powerful rights in the Constitution. It says no person can be deprived of life or personal liberty except according to law. Simple meaning, no government, police, or system can take away your life or freedom without a legal and fair process. But Article 21 is not only about staying alive. The courts have said that life means living with dignity, freedom, privacy, education, clean environment, food and shelter. Because a person is not truly alive if they live in fear, hunger, humiliation, or without basic rights. Harsh reality. Many people. Sometimes the innocent people suffer more than the criminal. That is why Article 22 exists. Article number 22, protection against arrest and detention. The police can arrest you, but they cannot take away your rights. Most people think if someone is arrested, they have no rights. But that is not true. Article 22 of the Constitution of India protects every person after arrest. Because the Constitution knows one dangerous truth: power can be misused. Sometimes innocent people are targeted. Sometimes weak people are pressured. Sometimes the person who speaks the truth suffers more than the real criminal. That is why Article 22 gives every arrested person 3 important rights. You must be told why you are being arrested. You have the right to a lawyer. You must be taken before a judge within 24 hours. Without these rights, police could arrest anyone secretly, keep them for days. No one can buy you, sell you, or force you to work. That is your constitutional right. Article number 23, prohibition of human trafficking and forced labor. Working by choice is a job. Working by force is a crime. Let's understand this clearly. If someone tells you, you must work, you cannot leave. You will not be paid properly. You have no choice. That is not employment. That is exploitation. Article 23 of the Constitution of India says one simple and powerful thing. No one can force you to work. No one can buy or sell you. This includes human trafficking, forced labor, bonded labor, working because of debt or pressure. Simple reality. If you are working by choice, it is a job. If you are working because you are forced, scared, or trapped, it is illegal. Even if a person is poor, even if